all praises to the heavenly, holy, almighty creator of infinity, eternity, and the universe. Hello, family. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit coming back at you again for just a quick review, preview, a snippet of a little bit of a rant and a rave, but hopefully it will expand our discernment as we earn to learn and we expand our ability to deliberate and mentally marinate. And today we are talking about the N-word. Nigger. Oh, poor nigger. You is my nigga. The N-word. The word nigger. The word nigga. Where did it come from? What does it mean? Me personally, family, I have an affection for the word nigga or nigger. It is a spiritual word. It is a word that induces emotion depending on its application and use, depending on how it is wielded and thrown, how it is directed, how it is constructed, how it is coordinated. No matter how you hear it, the person delivering the word nigger, you know their intent, you know their sentiment, you know how they feel, as well as when you hear the word nigga. And so for this eternal conversation, it's always asked, is it okay for other people, non-black people, to use the word nigga or nigger? Well, despite the fact of if it is okay, it has been done. For centuries, we were referred to as niggers in our captivity here in this continent of confusion we call Babylon, Egypt, and Sodom, United States of America. And in that corruptible language, we began to refer to ourselves as niggers or niggas. But as it pertains to that use and how you wield that word like a double-edged sword, what is the intent? What is the sentiment? What is the definition as it is hurled upon a subject? Well, us in the so-called black community know that the application we use is mostly of affection, mostly of accommodation, mostly as a general greeting. And some of our people, they have their way, they have how they feel about the word. Don't call me a nigger. Don't you call me a nigger. Do you know what that word means? It's disrespectful. Yet, we hear the word across all lines of media each and every day. And we all know what it is, and we all know what it means when we hear and see it. And so, family, let's take a little bit of time to do a dissection and a reflection on sometimes the inflection of the word nigger and where it began. And so we shall begin. In the English language, the word nigger is an ethnic slur typically directed at black people. The word originated in the 18th century as an adaptation of the Spanish word Negro, a descendant of the Latin adjective Nigger, which means black. The history and etymology, or the beginning of the word nigger. It is an alteration of the earlier word Nigger from Middle French negri, from Spanish or Portuguese Negro, from Negro, black, and from Latin, Niger, or Niger. Now, family, the root word is Niger, Niger, which came or which born Negro, which is Spanish and Portuguese, and Negre, which is French, which goes back to Niger, and it all means black, the color. Now, for my Israelite family and for my pending Israelites who are coming into the truth and knowledge of our true identity, did you know that the apostle Simeon was nicknamed Niger, or black, or which was pronounced Nigger in Latin? Sometimes you may hear Niger, and it is also a country in North Central Africa. So we have Niger, Niger, and then the other country, Nigeria, and there's the Niger River. So all of these references are pointing us back to the simple definition of black. And so, if we go and we reference the holy history with just a little bit of expansion of the word, let's get some clarity of the characters. Now, there was in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that were called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch, and Saul. And that's Acts 13:1, family. Some continuing definitions of the word Niger. It means dark, black, and that is out of the Latin dictionary. And it means black if you look at the Bible study dictionaries. In Spanish, we find another more familiar word that is also by the same meaning, Negro. By mid-16th century, via Spanish and Portuguese, from Latin, Niger, Negre, black. And that's from the Oxford Dictionary. Spanish is a Latin-based language, and Latin was spoke by the Roman conquerors that the Hebrews referred to as Gentiles, and that's Matthew 20, verse 19. The early use of the word Niger and later Negro were not racist, but were more descriptive of skin color. When slaves, or when the enslaved, were brought to the Americas, the descriptive terms were later turned into racial slurs meant to degrade the enslaved and their descendants. The term nigger arose not only because of cultural mispronunciation, but also because it was a broad term used to describe black people in general. Slave owners had no desire to learn individual tribes or even names of the enslaved. And because of that, the enslaved were renamed, and the broader term Niger became nigger as a means of reference. Over time, the word nigger took on racist and hateful undertones, which is why the word is so taboo in modern society. And we have to examine that so-called taboo, family, because the word is so relevant and so heavily used and referenced. Everybody in the world knows the word nigger. And when we incorporated it as a term of endearment or association or affection, and we took off the hateful syllable of nigger, and we replaced it with nigga, and we used it in song, and we smiled when we said it, and we hugged and said, my nigga. The world knows what the word means, black. And so, family, if you continue into the holy history, you'll begin to see that the holy apostles, the first teachers, the first Christians were referred to as Nigger or Negro, or in today's language, nigger. At first glance, Acts chapter 13:1 just looks like a list of names of the apostles, and it is. However, as is the norm with scripture, there is a lot more to what is being presented in the text. Let's look at each of the names on the list. Barnabas was a Levite born in Cyprus. Cyprus was ruled and inhabited by people of color before and after Roman invasion and occupation. It is also interesting to note that Moses was a Levite as well and was also mistaken for an Egyptian. It is very likely that Barnabas was a person of color. Simeon, he was surnamed Nigger, pronounced Niger, which means black skin in Latin. Lucius of Cyrene. Cyrene is a city located in Libya, Africa. Manaen is the only name mentioned once in the Bible, and nothing else was known of him from scripture. Saul, or later renamed the Apostle Paul, he was also from the tribe of Benjamin and was mistaken for an Egyptian. That's Acts 21, verse 38. So family, all throughout our holy history, those who are learning and growing and becoming that light, we know that our Hebrew Israelite identity and our appearance was many times mistaken for that of the Africans or the Hamitic nations. So we know that the children of Israel were black, quote unquote, people, black skin, people of color who lived all throughout the regions of northern Africa, including the land of Canaan, which is our homeland. And so family, when the word nigger comes out, even if it's in its worst, vilest form, it's just an anger stirred, and they are upset at black. Nigger, nigga, Niger, 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 Negro, negra, more. It just means black. And so family, the funny thing about it is we are actually all different shades of brown. So for all those who regard themselves as niggers and niggas And for all those who do not regard themselves as niggers or niggas, I hope we have caused a little bit of a mental manifestation where we have expanded as we try to expound on the definition of the N-word. And so, family, until we are together again, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is Revelations.Unveiled. Detroit. I love you, my niggas.